Man, this year's summer anime lineup was pretty solid. It feels like in the past 2 or so years, each season has been more packed than the last, giving us little to no room to breathe. Which kinda sucks, but that's a topic for another video. This season we had series like Lycoris Recoil, the American waifu simulator that ended up handing us intense gun-blazing action with a bit of some heartfelt moments. Then, on the other side of the spectrum, we had Classroom of the Elite Season 2 that continued the story people have been excited for years, even though, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was just alright. But amidst all that was airing, there were 2 that stood out to me, so much so that I watched them religiously every week. And those 2 were Maiden Abyss and Call of the Night. I'm sure you can see which one I'm going to talk about today if you've seen my previous video. And if you didn't, it was Call of the Night. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was a straight vibe. Call of the Night is about Ko Yamori, a 14-year-old student who, as of recently, decided to start ditching school. Instead, Yamori wanders the streets at night since he recently became depressed and started developing insomnia. On one of his regular strolls across Tokyo, he wanders upon a beautiful, fair-skinned girl named Nazuna. After Nazuna proceeds to show him why nighttime is so great, she takes him back to her place, tells him she can help him sleep, and then tries to suck his blood while doing so.
We must stay focused, brothers.
Now, one of the things I really loved about this series in particular is how it portrays nighttime. Being somewhat of a night owl, as well as dealing with a bit of insomnia myself, I have a certain appreciation for the beauty that can appear when the sun goes down. Cities light up, people let loose. The nighttime has a sort of freedom to it that daytime just doesn't have. And the way the anime displays it all with its vibrant colors makes it even more desirable than normal. There's just a certain contrast we can all relate to that the day is associated with people keeping a professional sort of appearance, while night is the time you can let go and be yourself. And that ties in with our main protagonist pretty well, I think. Yamori was never a bad student. In fact, he actually got pretty good grades. But one incident after another led him to become depressed with the current life he lived. He never really felt like himself going to school while putting on an act to blend in with everybody else. And after his self-realization and essentially quit going to school, we see him become a much more social and happier person than he was before. Now, part of the reason Yamori was so depressed in the first place is, well, he doesn't really get romance. He was asked out once prior, but ended up hurting the other person's feelings, therefore kind of leaving him questioning why he can't feel that way towards another person. And after Yamori finds out Nazuna is a vampire, he eventually comes to the conclusion that he wants to become one too and enjoy the night like she does forever. Conveniently enough, Nazuna tells Yamori that the only way to become a vampire is to fall in love with one, leaving Yamori in a pretty tough situation.
We must stay focused.
And albeit kind of a corny idea, I think it meshes well with the overall goal of the show. It gives Yamori a drive to understand himself better and potentially open himself up to another person in a way he's never really done before. This also creates an opportunity for Nazuna to develop more since, from what we know so far, she's never been romantically involved with anyone and blushes at the mere thought of it. But I gotta give it to her because she was one of the best parts of the series. She shows Yamori a whole new world and gives him a new perspective on life, while also kind of relating to him as well because, just like Yamori, she never really fit in. She's considered a weirdo among the vampires since she has a dorky personality along with the fact that she has no desire to create more vampires like the others do, which makes her an outsider that they kind of look down on. And let me just say, I really thought the introductions of other vampires added an interesting dynamic to the series, because now it adds a more serious tone to what was, for the most part, a super laid-back atmosphere, especially when the other vampires give Yamori a year to turn into a vampire, or else. I also appreciated that we get to learn a little bit about the other vampires. It solidified the fact that they aren't just the bloodthirsty monsters society claims they are, and kinda depicts them as normal people. Plus they also don't need to drink blood all that often anyways. It also showed us that these vampires are way different from Nazuna, but who cares cause she's best girl anyways. And I could talk about the other side characters too that were human, but there really wasn't much on them. At least for this season, it seemed like the focus was solely on the vampires. Also, the music for this series is just so good. It's pretty much all lo-fi, but it honestly slaps. Anyways, yeah, just go listen to it already if you haven't. It's honestly just really good. The only two real issues I have with this series is that it kind of moves slow at times, and I still feel we don't know much about the characters at this current moment. But I hope in season 2 we'll get to see more background on the characters because I'm just honestly really interested in them. Overall guys, I'm gonna give Call of the Night an 8.5. It has a unique, colorful cast of characters, amazing visuals that really capture the beauty of nighttime, and an awesome soundtrack that was honestly such a vibe. All I really ask is that it adds more depth to the characters since it really feels like we barely know anything about them. And if it adds that with time, I think this series has the potential to be great. Because Call of the Night has a truly unique atmosphere, and I'm intrigued to see where it takes us. But anyways guys, I want to hear what you think. Did you like Call of the Night, or did you think it was just okay? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter since that's where I mainly post updates on the channel. Anyways, that's all for me. Thanks guys. Later.